This is you, staring at a screen, probably procrastinating something important. But the only reason you can even do that is because of an idea, an invisible invention, sitting in the background of your life, more powerful than any sword, any bomb, any empire that has ever existed. Because here's the truth. The deadliest weapons in history weren't made of sharpened steel or gunpowder. They were ideas. And one of them, one of the most fundamental, almost didn't make it to you. Imagine for a second living in a world without numbers past many. For thousands of years, that was reality. Humans counted with their fingers, with pebbles in a bag, with notches carved into bone. Anything more than a handful was just a vague concept. Then, somewhere in the ancient world, a mathematician whispered a concept so simple, yet so dangerous, it was nearly buried forever. The concept of zero. Yeah, nothing. A hole. The empty set. The revolutionary, world-shattering idea that nothing is actually something. At first, rulers and priests called it heresy. How dare you measure the void? How dare you give a name to nothingness? Entire civilizations feared it. Some banned its use entirely. Merchants saw it as a useless trick. Philosophers called it an absurdity. Governments literally outlawed it. But the rebels, the cultures that embraced it, they unlocked algebra. They unlocked modern astronomy. They built the foundations for rocket science.
Without the idea of zero, you wouldn't have a smartphone in your hand. You wouldn't have space travel. You wouldn't even have a working bank account. That is one dangerous idea. Now let's fast forward a couple thousand years to filth. Medieval Europe had no plumbing, no sewers, and absolutely no concept of germs. Streets weren't just dirty, they were open sewers running with human waste. People believed that disease came from bad air or maybe a witch's curse. Then came another dangerous idea: sanitation. The simple act of washing your hands, building sewers, demanding clean water. And at first, doctors laughed. Literally, wash my hands before I deliver a baby? Are you insane? The rebels who pushed this idea were mocked, they were fired from their jobs, some were financially ruined. One Hungarian doctor, a man named Ignaz Semmelweis, saw mothers dying from infection day after day. He connected the dots and he literally begged his colleagues to just wash their hands. They refused. He died disgraced, forgotten in an asylum. Yet his dangerous idea has saved billions of lives. The concept of cleanliness wasn't a gentle evolution. It was one of the most violent rebellions in medical history because the establishment fought it tooth and nail every single step of the way. And then there's this one. The idea that you matter.
Not just kings, not just gods, but you. That every single human being should be treated as equal. Sounds simple, right? It's the bedrock of our modern world. Wrong. For most of human history, suggesting this could get you executed. Think about it. Ancient slaves, peasants ground into the dirt, women treated as property. The people who dared to dream of equality were silenced, often brutally. Even today, this idea is so powerful, so volatile, that wars, protests, and entire revolutions still flare up over it. But it reshaped everything. It gave us democracy. It gave us modern law. It gave us the very concept of freedom itself. So here's the twist in all this. Ideas are the most dangerous, most powerful weapons we've ever created. They don't need armies to march. They don't rust or decay. They survive when books are burned and empires crumble into dust. And if those three ideas, zero, sanitation, or individual rights, had been successfully crushed forever, you wouldn't even be here listening to this. You exist in a world built by people who were crazy enough to defend ideas that others wanted dead. And that is the real danger, because the next idea, the one that rewrites the world all over again, it might already be in someone's head right now, waiting. So remember this: swords break, bombs fade, but an idea, that can outlive everything. Hit subscribe before the next dangerous idea decides whether you're part of history or erased by it.